After proving Matt Rimac wrong on camera, Matt Armstrong now faces the biggest decision of his career. Should he buy the very Chiron he rebuilt? The automotive community is split. Some fans are urging him to make it happen. Others are warning him it's a financial disaster waiting to unfold. Matt has been transparent about his intentions from the beginning. He wants to own this Chiron when the rebuild is done. That's not casual interest. That's serious intent backed by real financial planning. Think about what he's actually invested here. Months of work splitting the car, exposing engineering secrets Bugatti never intended to be public, designing custom upgrades, and doing it all from an independent garage while the manufacturer's CEO publicly insisted it couldn't be done. Matt didn't just rebuild a hypercar. He built a case, a living, driving argument that knowledge isn't proprietary and that capability doesn't belong exclusively to factory technicians. After all of that, he doesn't want to hand the keys back to FXG and walk away. He wants to drive what he built. He wants to own the car that challenged manufacturer gatekeeping and proved the critics wrong. That's completely understandable. But there's a financial problem, and it's a significant one. FXG originally bought the crashed Chiron back from insurance for nearly $2 million. Once the rebuild is complete, with Matt's custom upgrades and documented improvements, the finished car will be worth considerably more than that. Matt would need to negotiate a fair price with Alex, and then actually have the funds available to close the deal. That's where things get complicated, and that's where the community debate begins. One side of this debate is straightforward. Matt absolutely should buy it. He's proven his capability beyond any reasonable doubt. He split the car, redesigned components, and improved on factory specifications in ways Bugatti's own engineers never attempted. He's invested months of labor, creative energy, and his professional reputation into this project. Owning the finished result validates every bit of that. Beyond the technical argument, there's the story value. This Chiron would become the centerpiece of Matt's collection. The car that proved independent hypercar rebuilds are viable. The car that made a CEO's public statement look foolish. The permanent symbol of a remarkable victory. Imagine Matt taking this car to shows, events, and future videos. Not as a borrowed build or a finished commission, but as his own vehicle. That's content with a shelf life measured in decades, not months. Matt isn't just another exotic car collector. He's the man who built this specific car under extraordinary pressure and public scrutiny. Owning it makes that victory permanent. But the opposing side raises concerns that are harder to dismiss. This is a salvage title Bugatti with a documented crash history and an independent rebuild that permanently voids any manufacturer warranty or support. Bugatti refused to assist with this car during the rebuild, and there's no realistic reason to expect that relationship to improve once it's complete. Every future service issue, and with a Chiron, there will be service issues, will require independent solutions, creative workarounds, and likely significant expense. The resale market for this car is also fundamentally limited. A clean title Bugatti Chiron per sport in excellent condition is worth several $1,000,000. Only 500 were ever made, and it remains one of the most desirable hypercars ever produced. But this specific Chiron carries a salvage title from a serious frontal impact, severe enough to deploy all airbags, damage 4 radiators, compromise the aluminum front structure, and potentially affect the gearbox mounting bracket. Even after a meticulous rebuild with upgraded components, that history is permanently attached to the car's record. The pool of potential future buyers is limited to enthusiasts who understand the rebuild story and are willing to accept the associated risk. If Matt pays somewhere between $2 and $3 million for this car, but its salvage status means it could only realistically resell for $1 to $1.5 million, that gap represents serious financial exposure. The fans urging caution aren't trying to kill the dream. They're pointing out that the dream has a price tag beyond the sticker. Matt Armstrong isn't just popular right now, he's at the absolute center of the biggest independent rebuild controversy in automotive YouTube history. Bugatti's CEO made a public statement. It got picked up widely. Millions of people are following this story in real time. That level of attention is rare, and it won't last forever. The iron is hot right now, and if Matt plays this correctly, he could fund the Chiron purchase entirely through merchandise revenue, without touching a single car from his existing collection. The fans saying, "Don't buy it, it's too risky," were operating under the assumption that Matt would liquidate collection cars to fund the purchase, essentially trading established assets for a compromised one. That's a legitimate concern under those circumstances. But if merchandise revenue can generate the necessary capital while the collection stays intact, the financial pressure changes dramatically. Matt wouldn't be sacrificing existing assets. He'd be converting community enthusiasm into purchasing power while giving fans a genuine opportunity to win remarkable cars in the process. The fans saying, "Absolutely buy it," now have a realistic path forward that doesn't require Matt to bet his collection on a single salvage title asset. Both sides of the debate can find something to work with here. There's also a larger argument for ownership that goes beyond the financial math entirely. The Chiron rebuild isn't just about one car. It's about a principle that technical knowledge isn't the exclusive property of manufacturers, that independent builders can achieve what corporate gatekeepers insist is impossible, and that determination, transparency, and skill can overcome institutional resistance. The right to repair movement has been fighting this battle across multiple industries for years. Matt's rebuild is one of the most visible and compelling demonstrations of that argument ever put on camera. If Matt owns the completed car, the story has a permanent conclusion. He rebuilt the car they said was impossible to rebuild. He upgraded it beyond factory specifications. He drove it, his car, built by his hands, as proof that manufacturer control is a matter of policy, not technical necessity. That narrative has value that compounds over time. 20 years from now, people will still reference this project. Matt owning the car means he's permanently part of that story as its protagonist, not just a skilled contractor who handed the finished product back to its owner. That distinction matters more than it might seem. So where does that leave the decision? Matt Armstrong has a clear dream: own the Chiron he built, drive it as his own, let it represent everything this project stood for. The financial concerns around that dream are real: salvage title, limited resale market, no manufacturer support, significant long-term maintenance risk. Those aren't imaginary obstacles, and anyone telling Matt to simply ignore them isn't giving him honest advice. But the merchandise strategy changes the calculus in a meaningful way. If Matt can generate the capital through community-driven merchandise sales rather than liquidating his collection, he reduces his financial exposure significantly. He keeps his existing assets intact, rewards his fan base with genuine opportunities, and converts the current peak of public attention into the funds needed to close the deal. That's not a fantasy, it's a model that has been executed successfully 13 times by someone who has already offered to walk Matt through the process. The question isn't really whether the Chiron is worth buying. The question is whether there's a financially sound path to owning it, and for the first time in this debate, that path looks more plausible than it did before. Should Matt pursue the merchandise strategy? Should he negotiate hard on price given the salvage status and use those savings to build a maintenance reserve? Should he walk away entirely and let someone else own the most famous independent Bugatti rebuild ever completed? That decision belongs to Matt. But the financial picture is more nuanced and more promising than the debate usually acknowledges.